Hi, Kamesh.
Hello, ma'am.
So I welcome you, Kamesh, to our ELC's interactive series. So this series is with our students who are in the top B schools. And I have Kamesh Jagtap here today, who is currently studying in IMT Ghaziabad. And he has formally completed 1 year in IMT Ghaziabad. So he'll be starting with his second year soon. I believe आप लोगों के summer internships अभी शुरू होंगे. So, Kamesh, I want a brief overview about this 1 year journey that you have had with IMT Ghaziabad, and which is why I'll be asking certain questions to you. So, should we start?
Yes. First of all, thank you, ma'am, for inviting me, and I would be happy to share my experience with everyone.
Thanks, Kamesh. So, ever since you've joined last year, how has been your normal routine? I'm in terms of your lectures and your assignments and evaluation process.
So as it goes, MBA life is very jam packed, and at IMT it is same. In fact, first 4 months you won't even get a time to sleep, and as soon as your college starts, hopefully your college will start early, maybe in July. Ours started a month late in August, so our whole syllabus was compressed. Our MBA is IMT at MBA at IMT has three terms in first year. So every term for previous batch it used to be of 3 months, but for us they compress it to 2 months to 2.5 months. So our like schedule was even more. It was very much hectic, and there are like lecture timings were increased. We have lecture timings of 1.5 hours. Daily 4 lectures are there maximum, and after that you have projects, you have group activities. If you are a part of any committee, then it's really like busy schedule for you for the whole day. And for especially for committee members, you will get a really less time for studying. And but as it goes for MBA, MBA life is much more than your academics. You get to know or interact with other people, so that's where your learning begins. So in the first 4 months it will be a really good journey for you. You will get to interact with a lot of new people, and especially with different backgrounds. So yeah, the first 4 months, even though they will be very hectic, but the major learning happens in those. At least I would say definitely the major learning will happen in first year itself. So try to take advantage of it. Yeah.
All right. And in terms of assignments, are they individual assignments that are given or they are group assignments?
Okay, so at IMT we have groups. There are groups of 5 members, and these groups will remain same for first year, first 2 terms, basically till December. So you will the assignments. There will be. It depends on the professor. Some professors will give you individual assignments, and you will also get projects. Will basically group projects. But in terms of assignments, you can get group assignments or individual assignments. So it depends solely on the professor of that subject.
Okay. And how's the distribution of your batch in terms of the different domains and gender diversity and likewise experience versus non-experienced people?
So talking about gender diversity, it's roughly 80%, 20% girls, 80% boys. And this year it has deteriorated because of maybe the reason could be online pattern. Most of like students didn't enroll for MBA maybe. So that could be the reason. But average consider 25 75 will be the gender diversity. Then talking about specialization, IMT is known for marketing. So expect 70 to 75% batch from marketing only, and almost 20% will be finance, and remaining 5% will be between operations and HR. But they are almost negligible. Major two specializations will be marketing and finance only at IMT.
And what about the crowd who are experienced? I mean, what is the maximum?
Yeah. So 50% crowd will be almost freshers, 0 to 1 years of experience. They are considered freshers only, less than 1 year experience, and 50% will be experienced because the batch strength batch is huge. So even the 50% of IMT is around 250 to 250 students. Yeah.
Absolutely. Kamesh, what do you think? How is MBA education different than the graduation education or the format that students go through?
Like there is a stark difference. Being an engineer, I can tell you that, and because the pattern or the syllabus, there are polar opposites. In during graduation, you get a lot of time. The semester is of 6 months, and you have around 5 to 6 subjects. But here in MBA, you get a term. One term is roughly of 2 months. Consider of them of 2 months, and you have almost 8 to 9 subjects. And in those 2 months, you have to prepare for all the subjects. And it's not just academics. You have a lot of other activities, like one of the major activities related to placements. You have a lot of placement activities that takes place, and as within first 2 months, the companies start coming. So you have to prepare for interviews. There are a lot of leadership talks. There are industry guests that will come to the campus. Basically, like now in online format, they won't come to campus, but you will have the sessions. So you have to attend those also. And apart from that, in the first 4 to 6 months, there are a lot of events that takes place. MBA events, like corporate events, college events. So and more, it is essential to be part of this event. So you have to prepare for these events also. And if to add to that, if you are a part of any committee or club, you have that work also. So basically, your day is like, you will get hardly 4 to 5 hours of sleep, and the rest of the day you will keep on working. And most of the work, you'll be surprised, you won't be even looking at academics. You'll be spending most of your time on other activities. To give an idea, you will still be learning, even though you will not be studying from the books, but you will be learning a lot from the other activities.
Somewhere these activities help you to enhance your management skills. That's
yeah, definitely. As I spoke, one major difference between MBA and graduation is the peers you get. In MBA, you have a huge diversity, and it's not just regarding the specialization, even the age. You people come from various experience. They will have freshers from various backgrounds. You will have experienced member from different backgrounds. So the learning you get is a lot. And when you interact, even during, and the main learning also happens during classrooms, because these are very interactive sessions, unlike your graduation days where only a professor used to talk. Here in MBA, it is conversation basically. So you get to learn a lot of different perspectives. You get to learn different anecdotes, what people experience uh, during their work ex. So yeah, that is one of the major difference you will experience here in MBA. So yeah, sure. Yeah.
How's the study pedagogy in this online format that's going on? Or normally, what is the pedagogy that's followed?
So normally, as I said, the lecture timings used to be of 1 hour, but from our time, because our MBA started late, the IMT generally starts at mid of June, but for our batch it started mid of August. So our all terms were compressed by almost a month. So our schedule was jam packed. So because we have a lot of subjects, and we have to prepare them in 2 months only. So you have like a lot of content to go through. And it's not just books. You get to the pedagogy is basically case based pedagogy. You are shared a lot of case studies for every subject. There are case studies which will be shared with you, and before every lecture you have to read those case studies. And there you will be given like a schedule will be given proper, which case study is to be read before which lecture. So, and it's not like these case studies are short. These case studies are like 15 pages, 20 pages. So you have to be thorough. And yeah, if the professor is strict, you will be kicked out of the class if you don't read those case studies, because they form a like big part of your learning. And these case studies are basically real life case studies, and most of the case studies are Harvard Business Review case studies. So these are really good. So I would really encourage you to please go through all the case studies, although it will be a lot of reading work to do. Like you might have to read almost 50 case studies during your one given term, or for different subjects. So yeah, so I would say focus more on case studies rather than on books, because those case study will give you a clear cut idea of how the industry, or what will be your situation when you get out of the MBA college.
Right, because these are after all the real time scenarios.
Exactly. Yes. Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Correct. Can you talk something about the committees and their working? So how does the selection process go about the committees, and which all different committees are there?
Yeah, so basically there are two things. There are committees and clubs in MBA, sorry, IMT. So there are close to 20 odd committees per club. There are around 10 committees and like same 10 clubs. So committees are basically these are like controlled by college. So there will be a faculty which will be having will monitoring over your work, where our clubs are fairly independent. You have the freedom of like carrying out whatever activities you want. But in terms of committees, there will be a lot of faculty regulations, basically, that there will be a specific task you need to do as a part of that committee. Whereas in clubs, it is very flexible. So if you are someone who has a lot of, like suppose you are from a non-finance background, you take finance, basically you'll have a lot to study for finance. So I will encourage to be a part of club rather than committee, because committee, the work will be very huge. And the talking about some specific committees, there is placement committee, the most important committee. And yeah, so if you are really interested, if you really if you are someone who doesn't like to sleep, you can go to the placement committee, because you have to work a lot, trust me. You won't get a time like the placement committee members, they just sleep for 3 to 4 hours. But one thing good about placement committees, the students in placement committee, they usually get a better packages. Like their average package is better, more than the average batch package. So if you really want to have a good if you want to target better companies, because being in placement committee, that adds a lot of value to your CV. So companies will also judge you based on having worked in the placement committee. So yeah, so if you really are willing to work hard. And one disclaimer is, part of being a part of placement committee, you won't get time to be part of other events, because the work is a lot in the placement committee itself. So yeah, so you'll have to focus your work on what are the tasks for the committee itself. And there are then academic committee, which overlooks all the academic activities that takes place, scheduling the lectures, then they looking after the student queries, resolving them. Then also a lot of they will interact with the faculties. They will if there are some student doubts, if students want some like suggestions from, if they will even ask for suggestions from students, that they can implement your academic curriculum. So academic committee is also one of the important committees. That is you can target. But again, the work is you have to work a lot in that committee also. There is then admission committee, then you have then sports committee. Sports committee is like one of the most sought after committee in IMT. But it actually works better when you are on campus. So in online, yeah, sport committee, you won't be having yeah, the main sports like on ground sports won't be happening. Another is so these are few major committees, and you can go on the IMT website, you will get to know about each and every committee. Another committee is student council, so which actually looks after all the functioning of of the day-to-day functioning of the students in the like hostel or campus. If they have any problems related to in hostel or everything, it's basically consider they are running the college, basically they. So it's a student driven campus. To this is also one of the important committees, student council. So it will actually be looking after all the day-to-day functioning of the college, and basically it will be targeted towards students, because as it also, if you have any problems, you can directly go, any problem you can go to the student council. So yeah, and again, the committees I just named, here the workload will be very high. So yeah, if you really join this committee, be ready to maybe yeah, and you might lose some time on your academic schedule. So yeah, so workload will be. And coming to the clubs, I'm a part of a finance club, because I'm specializing in finance. So yeah, and being a fresher in terms of no experience in finance background, so I was like very keen on joining this committee, because that's where the learning happens most. And there are students with a lot of experience in finance, and also great financial knowledge. So that helps you a lot when you conduct various events, and even in the normal discussions you can interact with them. So clubs, they also conduct lots of events. So there is another committee, markup. It's a marketing committee. If you are marketing enthusiast, I will highly recommend to be part of markup committee, because the sheer amount of work they do regarding marketing, that's just awesome. Like, you will get to learn more about marketing being in part of that committee than studying in the classroom.
Yeah.
And as I told you, IMT is known for marketing, so that markup committee is really, I would say, one of the best committees or best clubs of the IMT. So
And
these are the
in terms of a club, I mean, you're able to join multiple clubs at the same time?
no, basically not. They will ask you, basically, the selection process differs from club, committee to committee. There will be mostly the basic selection process include, they will conduct interviews with you, one-on-one interviews. They will give you some tasks, basically. So you have to, the task could be anything. They would ask you for, if you are part of any cultural committee, they would ask you to uh, shoot a video, or shoot you like, based on what your skills are. Okay, so it depends, committee specific. Mostly for my finance club, it was basically a GD, and there was one-on-one interview. And most of the time they will give you on spot, they will give you situations, and they will ask what will you do. So they will look at how you think on spot. So that's how the committee selection for club selection works. But for other committees, like placement committee, academic committee, the process are rigorous. There will be multiple JDs, multiple interviews, and even the faculties will interview you. So yeah, basically for committees, faculty will be interviewing you. So that's it. And yeah.
Quite a lot of information.
Yeah.
How has been the peer interaction in this online scenario?
Okay, so yeah, so it's really difficult, I would say. Online format, it's not easy to connect directly with uh, new people. The most of the connection that will happen will be with your classmates, then your group mates, and then if you are part of committee, yeah, that will help you a lot in networking, because that's something, the people you will meet will be sharing the same interest as you. So you'll be getting to learn a lot from the committees clubs. And I really think I'm missing on that. One of the major disadvantage of online learning is peer-to-peer interaction, because even, and major disadvantage is the interaction with seniors, because it's difficult to know who all are the seniors, and to know, like, I have hardly interacted with just few of the seniors, because of like online, on this online format. And most of the seniors I interacted was with my committee seniors. But yeah, I was fortunate, because I've interacted with the finance seniors only, so I got to learn a lot. So try, that will be a challenge, first challenge, to find out who are all the seniors, then interacting with you. Then another is, like, you have to ask them when I can call you, or when should I call you.
Right.
So it's not like you go, like, if you're on a hostel or campus, you can go directly approach one and have your queries or doubts sorted. But on an online format, you have to first check out whether she is available or not. So yeah. And again, the difference arises of, like, some are early risers, so they sleep early, some stay up night. So that this will impact, basically, while you are working on projects, this will impact a lot, because whole day will go in activities, college activities, club activities, college, and most of the project work will happening in the night. So if some of your group members, they don't stay up late, then that will impact you.
I mean,
So, yeah.
matching those uncommon slots will be a challenge.
Yeah, that, and it's really difficult to find out who is available when on online format. So you
Right.
have to continuously contact. And also, some people, I have this experience, some people don't like this online format. They don't even check WhatsApp regularly. So at such times, it becomes really difficult how to connect them. They won't even pick calls. So it depends. Now these are the challenges inherent, because people with different natures will be part of your groups. So
Right.
yeah, that, and because you haven't seen their face, you don't know. And yeah, and another drawback is chatting. When you chat, most of that happens is interaction. We will be chatting like on WhatsApp and all. So it's difficult to understand what the person thinks and all. There is a high chance that he can misunderstand you.
Right.
So yeah, but not discourage. I'm not discouraging you. I'm just telling you, be ready for this experience. it will be quite a roller coaster ride online.
But again, I mean, way back in the journey, when you look back at these years, you're definitely going to praise yourself that you have been through this challenge as well.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, and yeah, so seniors have like said that if you can go through this, then you can actually, yeah, yeah. So this is one of the worst phases to like do an MBA. Like basically, if you want the campus life, it's really like you won't be enjoying this journey a lot, because yeah, campus life is something different. And I expect the first year student this year, they get to go to college in the first year itself, maybe in the second half. So I will request everyone to please get vaccinated if that is the criteria college sets. So at least you will have the higher odds of making it to the campus.
And so, Kamesh, I mean, talking about the summer internship placement process, how was your process, and normally how does the internship placement process happen at IMT?
Okay, so the placement process basically it differs from company to company, but because of online format, many of the companies have they're not included GD in the processes. So they mostly the process includes only one-to-one like interview. Not so there will be group interviews also or group GDs. But if the GDs happen online, the GDs will be much more in a civilized manner. So you can expect that, because what I have experienced, they actually ask you to raise hands even in GD. So they are well mediated, because in online format it's really difficult. Someone has a network issue, then he will miss out, that's for sure. So they make sure that everyone gets a chance to speak. And another, there will be aptitudes. For some companies will conduct aptitudes, and depends, some aptitudes are video proctored. So if you can't even change the windows. So yeah, the difficulty will be if you have cracked the cat, then the aptitudes will be very easy for you. I won't like it won't be a tough job, but main challenge will be interviews. They will be quite comprehensive. They will, and they won't be related to what you are studying, basically, because this happened at very early stage in your MBA life. So the interactions will be very generic. They will ask you about your past experience, your achievements. Then they will ask what you are doing right now. Have you learned anything new after your CAT exams? What new competencies you added, or what new competencies you are working on apart from your academics? So at that time, if you are part of any committees or clubs, that will actually help you a lot. You can actually leverage that to you. Yeah, so yeah, because they don't have much to judge you in this for this interview, because for SIP will start at September, August. Some companies will come at the August end, and majority of them will start coming from September onwards. By that time, you will have completed almost. Hopefully, you will have completed one term. So in our case, we had almost nothing to talk about. But the new batch, you will have something to talk, and make sure you have some certifications, or you have completed some certifications within next 2 to 3 months, so that can add to your CV, and so that you can expect some questioning on that itself. So, yeah.
All right. Any grooming tips that you will want to give to the current MBA aspirants who are due
Okay, so
in IMT, or maybe who will be writing CAT in the coming year?
okay, so for those who will be get like starting their MBA journey this year itself, I would ask to like start working on your time management skill. Because of this online format, uh, it's really difficult to manage your time, because you are whole time you are at home. So there are very less driving forces for you to get to the work. first work on time management skills. If you sleep a lot, then I would ask you to cut down your sleep from now. Make a habit of uh, make that habit from now onwards. Coming to the more technical part, start doing some certifications if you are marketing, if you want to. And from now onwards, I will ask you to decide your specialization, because you have to fill that specialization in your CV when the for SIP itself. So you have to have a clear idea from now onwards only. Even if you are a full-time candidate where you think that you will have to select in second year, it's not the case. You will have to fill the specialization for your SIPs only. So start exploring those specializations from now onwards, and at least have some high probability that I will taking the specialization, so that you can start building your skill sets in that direction. And for basically, I will ask everyone to go through digital marketing certification of Google for everyone, no matter if you are finance or marketing or operation enthusiast. It's a must, and in current scenario, it's a must to have a skill, or you should know the nitty gritties of online marketing. Then, if based on that, another thing is learn about Excel, basic Excel. That's a must. Certification is not necessary. Just learn through YouTube, or there are free courses, because it's assumed that if you are an MBA, you know the Excel. So and I personally, I faced questions regarding Excel in my SIP interviews. So they will even ask you directly the questions related to what will you do for, like, if you are giving these number sets. So what function will you use to find out maximum frequency, mean, or something. So they will directly ask you. So prepare on Excel. Start reading, basically start reading newspapers, and basically not financial newspaper, economic times related to economy is basically. And if you are on social media, start following various, there are pages, marketing, like finance pages on Instagram. I do that, and these help a lot. The popular pages, follow these popular pages. You will get to learn a lot of new concepts. So when you start your MBA journey, you will not be new to this. So you will have some basic understandings of some basic concepts. Then mm, go through case study videos. You can go to YouTube. You can just search famous case studies regarding marketing, regarding finance. You can just watch those videos of 20-30 minutes. That will help you understand what will be the journey like in the next coming months. So these are the basic tips. And also communication. Start working on your communication skills. That will because MBA, you have to have a good communication skills. That's a must. Even in lectures, you are supposed to speak in English, and like whole conversation, all the conversations will be happening in English itself. All the conversations. So start reading in that front. So as long till now you are just preparing for CAT. So yeah, now you have to actually implement that in real life. So those all the learnings you took from the verbal verbal topic, like so you please try to like implement those in your real life now. And another thing is, yeah, one more, this is not regarding your skills. Have a good network, internet connection. Make sure you have a good internet connection. And second is, you must have a laptop. Without laptop, you won't be able to pursue your MBA because you will be doing your MBA most probably from home only for
Your
first.
laptop is going to be your mate during the entire 2 years.
Yeah, and make sure you have at least two connections. One, at least you have some Wi-Fi dongle or something, and your mobile connection, because it's really frustrating when the connection goes out, and you miss a like very important part of lecture. And that is something really, you are, and professors don't generally repeat. You have to ask basically, but then you keep on asking, that may irritate the professor. So that's something. It's not about skills, it's just about infrastructure you will need.
You
So
have your backups
and
and infrastructure.
yeah, and for finance, maybe I will like to add something for finance, because I am doing specialization in finance. Those who are really want to take a finance as a major in IMT, So although IMT is known for marketing, but if you want to pursue finance and IMT is the best college you are converted, so start preparing for finance from now itself. Because if you don't have a if you are engineering background, so you will have to learn a lot. So something my experience, I will tell you, like last year, it was a financial crisis time because lockdown announced, market crashed a lot, and that was the time I got a exposure to stock markets. I learned about finance from that period. So those 2-3 months before college started, I learned a lot about how the stock market works, what are the different indicators that you look, and this is what the finance is all about. Okay, so if you are really in finance enthusiast, I will recommend you to track the markets, stock markets from now itself. Uh, have a fair bit of idea about what stock markets are, how the companies are evaluated. Then also that and also Excel is the must. You must know Excel for if you want to pursue finance. And yeah, so and certification, you can go through basics of finance, also learn about accounting. If you are engineering, if you're non-commerce background, go just learn from YouTube basics of accounting. Some like what balance sheets are, income statements are, financial statements, how they work, how to read them. Just basic. You don't have to do everything. You will be taught during your college time, but it will be really difficult if you are a fresh to that concept. So you will be discouraged to like take finance if you directly attend the first finance lecture where the professor start talking about debit, credit, and, all those accounting terms which will be like alien to you.
Right.
So I will ask you to just start learning from now itself, and don't have to do like a lot of work. You have a lot of resources. YouTube is the best resource. Just go to, you get a lot of YouTube channels are there which will
Right.
be teaching you. So that's one recommendation, strong recommendation, and it will help you in the interviews, because finance interviews are fairly technical. They will unlike marketing, well, they will look try to gauge you based on your ability to learn or your thinking out of the box or creativity. In finance, they will check your theoretical knowledge and your aptitude skills. So basically you will need to have a technical knowledge, basic understanding of technicals of finance. So yeah, so I would highly recommend to start preparing for now itself for finance enthusiast.
That sums almost all of this. And yes, I last question. I would want to know about the intercollegiate events and the competitions that after getting an IMT you get an exposure for.
Okay, so IMT, there are a lot of events. As even before the college starts, you will have the groups formed, like college groups, and you will be getting to know about what all the events that happen in the other colleges itself. So the first of all, go to Dare to Compete platform. This is the platform where almost all the events happen. So you will be getting exposure to a lot of events. It's not just about what events your colleges conduct, but also what events your college is eligible for. Like there are corporate events such as HUL Line, then there is Godrej Loud, then there is L'Oreal Brandstorm. So these are major events, major brands that come to IMT, and where IMT is eligible for these events. So, and if you crack these events, there is a high chance you will be getting a PPI or PPO at least. And for marketing enthusiast, I would tell this is much important than any certifications. If you are a finalist in any of the events, any of the major events, if you have, even if you are a campus winner, that will add a lot to your CV than any certification. Say like you have done this certification in marketing, because most of the marketing people will be freshers, and like marketing is somewhere most of the time experience is not necessary. So freshers, the interviewers, that is the major criteria on which they can judge you, because here you have applied all your skills, whereas in certification you are just learned but you don't know how to apply it, right? So events will be very important, especially for marketing. I'm not saying that for finance it's not. Finance will also be there, but finance fairly the events are in number terms it's very low compared to marketing. So And even in the like for IMT, there are a lot of events that are organized. There is Marketing World Cup, which is one of the biggest event. It is on like conducted by the markup committee in terms of finance. Our committee, finance committee, it conducts riskon, which is equity research event, where you will be given one company. You have to analyze the company, and then you have to recommend whether you should buy the stock of that company or not. So basically, so these are the two major events. Then also there are cultural events, but again, of the campus, these events are of like not much of value, because yeah, the main fun lies in being on the campus, basically, if you are part of cultural committees. But major learning happens in these events only. So I will recommend you to participate in as much events as possible. And you will, because of peer pressure, people will be asking you, will you join me in this event or not, and all. So starting 2-3 months, you will be part of almost, you'll be participating in 2-3 events at a time. So at a times you will forget, am I part of this event or not. But uh, I will highly recommend, select shortlist 2-3 major events, go to day to compete platform, or you can just Google major events for marketing, corporate events. HUL9 by far is the best. Then there is also events by Amazon is there, by Google also conducts event. These all come to IMT. So please enroll for these events and try to give your best. I would say, if even if you like don't focus much on academic, but if you focus more on these events and at least get to the campus round, get through to the campus round and go to finals, or um you are a campus winner, that will add a lot of value to your CV. And in terms of events, if you are part of committee, it will add to your CV as you organize these events, because these events have huge scale. So for college events, it is rather a part of being an organizer of that event than being participant. And from participation point of view, target the corporate events where the chances of getting PPO or PPI are very high. And IMT does really good in terms of marketing events. IMT, there will always be one or two groups which will be finalists, and this actually adds to the ranking of the colleges. If the college has a lot of achievements in this given corporate events, that's how the college rankings are decided. So, and make sure you select a good team members. It's not that you can select any team members, but again, that's a challenge when it comes to online format, to select the team members. So if you have good right team members, you can actually ace these events. So yeah.
This bit of information is very very useful in terms of which all competitions one can participate in, because honestly speaking, an MBA education is more about the peaceful competitions, the events, the
Exactly.
participation in the committees. And I have seen students who've been highly introvert in their graduation stream, but they have come out of the nutshell and they have participated in all of this and
Yes, yes.
outgrown themselves.
Yeah, and make sure like you make friends. You are friends with some extrovert students, because they will drive you and they will help you networking better, because in online format it's really difficult for an introvert student to do the networking. Make sure you have some friends who talk a lot, who know a lot of people, so that will help you in building your network.
Right.
So in online format, it becomes all the more important what friends you select, and because they will help you become a better MBA, and rather than a professor, I would say. And yeah.
Peer learning is very, very important in MBA.
Yes, yes. And I will really hope, from that perspective, I will really hope the students that will be that will be joining campus this year, joining MBA, that they get the opportunity to go to campus at least by December end or January. So because peer learning is like very important. And if you are a finance enthusiast and if you don't have any background in finance, you really need to have a good peer network, because you have to learn a lot in very less time, because it's just like first year itself. From second year, in just first term, the placement start. And after once the placement is done, your MBA is almost done. You have nothing. So major learning happens in your first year and even in the first 4-5 months only.
Right.
So try to make like best out of it, to make a most of it in the first 4-6 months only itself.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And
Thanks
yeah.
a lot, Kamesh. That was definitely very informative. And I'm sure students who have kept IMT Ghaziabad as an open option, they'll get wonderful insights about the college.
Thank you, ma'am. And it was really nice interacting with you after such a long time.
Yes.
And I really hope that these all the students get the colleges they want. And also, I wish them safety amid this pandemic. And please get vaccinated. If not for yourself, at least if you want to go to campus, please get
Yeah,
vaccinated, please.
absolutely. Yes. Thanks, Kamesh. Thank you.